Imagine playing this one. Yeah, nah. You know what? Let's kick it off with a good one. I love this game. Oh, right. Because, of course, I wouldn't be here if I was playing a good game. Well, the real case must be around here somewhere. Oh. Alright. It was in the couch crack. Wait. That must mean the real Resident Evil 4 disc is in here. Oh, yeah. Build and Race was released in 2009. It was developed by Icon Games Entertainment and published by Zoo Games. If you see these 3 letters on the front of a Wii or DS game, you're not in for the highest of quality. Zoo Games are one of the kings of publishing Wii shovelware games, and this is no exception. This is one of those games that wouldn't be locked up in a glass case at Walmart and would instead be in a bin. Starting up the game, we see that it's in 4x3. Not exactly a great start for a game from 2009. While build comes first in the name, I think we should do some racing so we can practice our skills for when we race on the custom tracks. But first we have to set up our profile and design a wicked cool vehicle. And now here we are in the solo modes. We have the option of choosing race, time trial, knockout, championship, and race challenge. There's also time challenge, but apparently we aren't good enough for it. We'll just do race for now. There's 3 cups with 5 tracks each, and as you progress through them you unlock more. Selecting the first track and it throws you right in after loading. How's the racing, you ask? It is. That's about all I can say about it. Well, I guess I could say it is not great. The controls are alright, they feel a little too slippery at some points, but the real issue is the car physics. While they can be kind of funny, they lead to what should be minor bumps into other cars, becoming major collisions which cause you to spin out, while at the same time your NPC opponents carry on as if nothing happened. These NPCs are ruthless one second and then dumb as bricks the next, but they always seem to have the lead over you. Alright, time to admit something. I'm terrible at racing games. So take my gameplay with a grain of salt, but also I usually don't blame racing games for my subpar performance, and this one I definitely am. For example, I was trying to find out how to drift. I used the Wiimote plus nunchuck combo since I knew I needed it for building later, but I couldn't drift no matter what. The B button reverses, the Z button triggers a turbo boost, and the C button just changes your camera perspective. And so I did the tried and true task of consulting the manual. And here it said that playing without the nunchuck lets you handbrake, so wait, did they forget to map handbraking to the nunchuck controls? Or wait, this says the C button is the handbrake, but I swear that button was the camera button. Oh my god. They double mapped the actions to the same button. Well, that's just impossible. Every time I go to drift, the camera moves, which is a major pain, so just use the sideways Wiimote, NES style. Still, I played so hard, but I got my butt kicked to an embarrassing degree. Thankfully, they just let you skip around to other tracks, so you don't need to win, but I wish I could. Anyway, I moved on to the race challenges, but they're pretty much more the same. I'd guess they're stages created in the track builder, but I don't know. All I know is I'm still bad at them. I think it's time to move on. Time for the mode that makes this game noteworthy, the track builder. Oh right, let's plug the nunchuck back in. You have 3 themes you can choose from to build your own track, and after selecting the one you want and waiting through a loading screen, you're dropped right into building. Here you're given a grid-based area that you can place segments of track on in any way you like, as long as it doesn't exceed the 256 block limit. At any point when building, you can test out what you've built and then return to construction. You have a wide range of track parts and background pieces to work with, and tracks you make fit in with the game's aesthetics and don't feel like cobbled together slop. Unless you want to make slop. I only wish there was an undo button while building, since despite being on a grid you can still make mistakes and place blocks over each other, which deletes the piece of track it covers up, and while having a large amount of blocks is nice, the menus can take a bit of time scrolling through until you find that piece you wanted back. I got the hang of it eventually, and after building my magnum opus I could begin the process of finalizing it. To finalize, you have to build the race line, which consists of you just doing the full loop of the track to verify that it is possible to finish, and so NPCs know how to finish the track. So I began, and for the first minute or so these flags were following me, but I was a little ahead of them, until I went around a bend, and then they vanished. But I assumed they were just way behind me, so I went around the whole track till I reached the finish line, and nothing happened. So I went back to the spot where I remembered losing them, and sure enough, they were right there. I passed through them again, but they seemed to be stuck, and I realized it was most likely due to me using this piece of track in a way it wasn't intended to be used, so I replaced it with a regular bend, and it works fine. With the race line finished, we can now play on it with computers like a normal race. I still had to put in a bit of effort to win, but thanks to some of my stupid decisions in track selection, leading to the computer racers getting stuck or crashing into the obstacles, I had an advantage for once. And that's all you can do with track building. Unfortunately, there were no online features implemented into the game, which was a huge missed opportunity. Sure, as a budget kids game, I understand why there was nothing online, but Hooked Real Motion Fishing had online play, so surely Build and Race could have gotten something. If they had included either a way to race other people over Wi-Fi, or especially if there was a way to upload the tracks you built online for others to save or race on, that would have been awesome. That leaves the only way to share tracks you built with other consoles is by bringing your save data on an SD card over to a friend's house who had the game, and sorry, but nobody would ever do that. Okay, I might have done that. And that's about it. The game really isn't awful or anything, but besides messing around with the track builder, there isn't much to keep you coming back to them, especially without any sharing options. That being said, I wouldn't count this game out completely. It can be a bit of fun once in a while. Oh, there it is!